go. Guard that switch. This plane is an absolute beast. This plane is a lot of fun. It is one of the better bush planes in the sim. It's fairly no frills. So, one nice thing about it is it does have a electrically driven leading edge slat system, and a slat system. What that's going to do for you is changes the camber of your wing, and it also, because it's a slotted slat, you can see that daylight through it right there. That energizes the boundary layer of air over the top of the wing and allows it to stay attached to the wing longer. Whereas if you get a wing at a high angle of attack, and angle of attack is the difference between the relative wind. So if we're flying, like if we're rolling down the runway, the relative wind is mostly level with the ground. There's a little downwash to it, but that's not here nor there. So you can see our angle is set pretty high because it's a tailwheel airplane, right? So the wing is all automatically catching that wind. And so that would be your angle of attack, is the difference between that relative wind and that chord line of your wing. And at a high angle of attack, you start to get, it's almost like when you're flying your hand out the window. And there's a point where that air stops providing lift and it starts providing more drag than lift, and the lift disappears and the wing stalls and no longer can support you flying. And a lot of that can happen at various stages, but you see it also, it'll separate. So as you start to stall, it gets really turbulent behind the wing here, and very turbulent, and that turbulence point moves farther and farther forward until it separates completely, and that's when you stall, right? And what the slotted leading edge slats do is they do allow, again, they change the camber of the wing to provide more lift, but they also energize that boundary layer to prevent it from separating early. So we can get down to like 25 knots in this thing before it wants to stall, which is incredibly slow. And that helps you be able to land basically on a dime. We can get this thing to stop within 100 feet or so. We're having a pretty good day. It's also got really big barn door flaps, and it's got this temporary flap position that actually adds to that drag profile and helps us slow down. How come it's not cross-platform? That is a question for Sony. That was a Sony decision, from what I understand, and I don't have an answer for you why. Is it always going to be that way? I don't know. All right, we're just going to go since we turned the weather basically off, we're just going to go right out to the runway here. It's calm wind. Normally we take off and land into the wind, but with winds being light and variable, as we say, it's really not that important. And also in flights like this, I don't do real world communications. Usually I'm on VATSIM, which is a third-party air traffic control network, but we're doing kind of flying that is not really conducive to that. So I'll fake some radio calls, but I won't really be on VATSIM today. We're just going to fake it through. Now, Friday night, you come back on Friday night, we're probably going to fly the TBM on Friday night, and I will do some IFR work and realistic flying, like very realistic flying in real weather and stuff like that. So hopefully Sim Update 4 will be out by then. We'll see. Or maybe the 737 will be out and we'll have to fly that. If the 737 comes out by then, we're going to fly that. All right. Yes. Oh, and Recluse, let me clarify. What I say regarding lift and drag is very intended for the aviation crowd, and that's the way you teach as an instructor. We don't get into the quantum mechanics of it all. It has to be kept simplistic, because you're right, a lot of it is debatable, and a lot of it is is theoretical, and if you get into too deep of a dive, it no longer really matters to the pilot. Okay, we have to keep it kind of simple. Don't stall the wing, right? Fly the wing, fly the tail, and do that stuff. All right, so we take. Looks like we're taking runway 3 here. Sorry, runway 2. So Shiprock Airport, 604 Charlie Fox, runway 2, departing straight out. Shiprock. Yeah, exactly. Equal transit theory. Yeah. That's why you don't hear me talking about it. We're off the ground like a flock of turtles. And we're going to bring those... bring the slats in, bring the flaps up. Hey, Barney. Oh, the books I had to read for aerodynamics were crazy. I still have them. All right, we're going to head off to the north here. So, if you remember on Friday, we left off at Shiprock there. We landed right at the base of it. That's an old volcanic plug. And it's surrounded by 3 really prominent lava dikes, which are basically old lava vents that where it never really quite reached the surface. It cooled off, and then over time it all eroded. And, everything around it eroded. And then it left the harder lava remaining. Guess who's back? Back again. Super pilot. Number 10. No, you're number 15. Anyway, we're going to get into some river canyons in a couple minutes, but I just want to fly you around. This is the Mesa Verde area, and it is, it's just something else. Welcome back, Super Pilot. Glad you're here. This is actually the town of Shiprock right here, and there is a big, there's a big power plant. But it's off to it's over towards Farmington. It's off this way. There's a big coal-fired plant out over here. And this is the San Juan River here. Yeah, the whole equal transit theory, and you know, yeah, that's talking about how the air goes faster over the top of the wing because there's more surface area, it's more cambered, and it has to meet up with the same air that it split from that went under the wing, and that's why it goes faster with the wing. That's not how it works. That's an old way of teaching it, and it's been debunked. I'm doing good. How are you? Whoa. I wonder why it's flickering like that. That was weird. And you can see in the backgrounds over there, you got the San Juans. And you're looking at like the Telluride area out in front of us, way out there. Barney, we are going where the scenery takes us. So I can't say that we are following any specific or going to any specific airport. The next actual airport that we're going to be near after this will be Cortez, which is Charlie Echo Zulu. Hello, Elite. What do I fly in the real world? I fly Cessnas and Pipers. I'm a GA pilot, so when I say I fly GA, I mean it. I fly GA. How about you? What do you guys all fly? We got a lot of people in here from all different aviation walks. We got mechanics in here. We've got GA pilots. We've got professional pilots, instructors. Sometimes we get military pilots in here. Got some folks who do firefighting, aerial firefighting. It's kind of a mixed bag, this crowd, and I appreciate all of you. There's Shiprock behind us. And so what we'll do here, again, I'm not really treating this like a real flight. We're gonna kind of mess around today, so let's take it down to the table. Central North Carolina, son is currently logging some real-world hours to get his private pilot's license. He learned on your sim and was hooked. Nice. Okay. So you sim then, huh? I think that's what most of us have in common as well, is everybody here likes to sim. All right, so this is one of the fun things to do, and 2024 is so good for this. I'm scouting right now. The only downside to 2024 is the ground is so realistic that it makes it really rough to land in places. In 2020, you could almost get away with landing anywhere because there were no rocks and things like that. In 2024, it's a little shadier. But again, don't try this at home. If you're not familiar with our streams, we do a lot of serious streaming, but this or simming, but this is less than serious. This is more like, hey, let's see what this thing will do. Hopefully 172, but probably an Archer for CFI. I prefer the Archer, to be honest. Check pilot at 141 Academy in Florida. Nice. Good old Sky Chicken trained on Pipers. Very cool. Yeah, see, the ground is very uneven here. Yeah, see, it's going to bounce us a lot. But that's all right. We're down. All right, so what I want to do here... Let's see here. I'm going to go right up to the edge. Let me show you what the sim can do. Except I got to drive a little bit to get there. Yeah, look at those bumps in the road. Again, the old version of the sim didn't have those bumps. This would have all been very smooth, and it would have treated our plane very nicely no matter what. Not so much in 2024. We have to be a little more discerning. Not to mention this going over land like this would tear the heck out of our airplane. How high are my LOD settings? Pretty high. They're maxed out. I don't have every single thing set on Ultra, but the LOD settings are maxed. I'm running in 2K. I don't run in 4K because I don't have a 4K monitor. And I'll be honest with you, it's perfectly fine to me. I'm on US East. Come on. We're getting stuck here. Come on. Okay, couple cool things you can do here. We could have just taken off and landed over here again, but anyway, I'm gonna set the brake real quick, and I'm gonna hop out. This is one of the cool features of this sim. If you're not familiar, but I need my I have a like a whole sim rig here with a lot of really cool controls, but I still use like a Logitech gamepad here to do the walk around. But anyway, Shiprock is our closest airport right now, where we ended the other night. Okay, so you can see the edge of the plateau here, right? Pretty cool. There's the plane behind us. We can see we're standing here at the precipice. I'm going to take a little picture. Don't jump. I know. All right. So let's do this. Instead of jumping, we're going to get back in the cockpit. Yeah, right? Nice place to have a picnic and a view. Or get rid of the brakes. US East. All right, ready? All right, here we go. See if I can get a good view of this. No, barely a stall warning at all. I mean, it fell for just a second. The biggest thing you got to do there is not spin it or hit something accidentally. That would be pretty awful too. But anyway, days like this, where we decide to just forget the rules and have some fun, this is what we do. And again, these little hills and cliffs and everything, these are not approximated. I mean, okay, technically, yes, they are approximated because it's a computer, but these are all real digital elevation models. So all of this stuff in satellite pictures is overlaid, and then they interpret some of the landforms and go, oh, okay, well, that must be rocks, and then they auto-generate rocks over there. So you thought the map in Red Dead Redemption was impressive? This is the whole world, baby. And if you are trying to catch up out of Shiprock, 5 Victor 5, just go due north. That's where I am right now. Look at that. Look at those kind of box canyons there. I mean, they're really shallow box canyons, but they're beautiful. Do not have a visual on you. Hold on. Let me turn the tags on. Sometimes I turn the tags off. I think that's you out there. Is that you way out there, or are you closer? I don't have anybody else in close. Look at that. What is that? The Starship Enterprise. Like a cattle corral or something. You're a bit far out. That might have been you then. No, that's all right, Barney. I am like literally about 15 miles north of Shiprock right now. Northwest. Northeast. 5 Victor 5. And approaching the Colorado state line rapidly. Yeah, Airman, doing the bush. And just new little areas to explore. And then we just hop right back down into the next trench run. And you could just do this all day. So obviously the Grand Canyon is like, if you PlayStation users and even the Xbox and PC users, for all the new people who come into this in the next couple of weeks over the holidays, you'll see everybody in the Grand Canyon. Everybody and their brother will be in the Grand Canyon, and it's a very popular place, and it's beautiful and it's worth it. But we have found, I've been doing this now for 5 years, and flying a lot longer than that. But I've been streaming for 5 years, ever since 2020 came out, really, just before that actually. And if there's one thing that we found, it is a lot of really cool places to explore like this that you wouldn't even have thought of unless you're just familiar with those areas. And this is, like I said, it's really cool. We're going to pop out of this here. So I've done a series called The Roads Less Traveled, where we follow U.S. highways from end to end, talking about all the history and everything along the way. Still haven't decided on the next version of that for sure, but it might be coming soon. And other than that, we do. I did do I don't remember how many miles it was now. It was like 30,000 miles around just the Western United States, and we found so many cool places like this. And not all of them are suitable for all this stuff. I mean, sometimes these canyons just simply end. This is the Zlin Norden. And it's got the big wheels for bush flying. Somebody's ranch out here. We are now in Colorado. Welcome to Colorado. And this is the Mesa Verde area. Green Mesa, Green Table. Yeah. Like Piedmont Triad? All right, we're going to go over to Mesa Verde National Park over here. Yeah, and I don't. This isn't directly related to Greensboro, but my last roads less traveled trip was up U.S. Highway 11, which basically follows the Appalachians, and more on the Tennessee side of things until you get to Virginia. Then it switches to the western edge of the mountains. But we had a blast and learned a lot about those areas. So yeah, we do fly around the Appalachians too. But if you do know me, the Western United States is my playground. Not to say that we don't go anywhere else, but I really like the Western U.S. You always got to be ready to come around the corner and deal with a box like that. And some of you go, well, Charlie, this ain't no fighter plane. We're only doing 105 knots. And I was showing everybody the other day, we were flying just right over the road with traffic and stuff like that. And when you get down in the weeds, you start realizing that 130 miles an hour isn't exactly slow. There's another slot canyon here. Well, that might have been a better way to go. But I kind of want to go the direction we're going right now, so working my way over there. I believe there are a couple third-party apps that will give you a bird strike, but no, not in the stock version. Bet the Baron would be good for this type of flying. You know what would be really good for this type of flying? The piston or the turbine Bonanza. But yes. In every aspect except short field landings. Look at that scenery, man. There's a lot of people who will decry the physics of the sim too. I think a lot of it is just people who have really not good setups. The better setup you have, the more it can reward you. That's what I always say. Watch this. Let's see if we can find, I think I'm pretty close to it right now. Update 4 has even more improved ground handling. Oh, look. There it is. Isn't that awesome? That's the Cliff Palace at Mesa Verde National Park. I'm going to come back around. You can see the visitor center. But yeah, you can see the old cliff dwellings in the rock there. Come back around one more time. Feel like I'm making the trench run into the Death Star. You worry about those fighters. I'll worry about the towers. Isn't that awesome? Unbelievable. Jeez. There's a couple others over here. God, I haven't been over in this area in a minute. Look at that canyon. Yeah, it really doesn't have square tower. I was trying to see if it does, but it doesn't. So we DCS is its own thing, and DCS is amazing in its own right. I don't have a lot of experience in it. I come from like the Falcon 4 BMS days. I do have DCS, but I've maybe used it for 2 hours grand total. And it mostly to me comes down to this. Comes to the scenery. It's very limited. And don't get me wrong, if you want a combat simulation and study level everything, that's it. There are some hardcore DCS players in here though that if I don't know if they're on right now, but they'll definitely chat you up about that. I have a VR setup for this. I choose not to use it. I get a little motion sick with it, and it's not really fun for you guys when I'm in VR. What the? What was that? Did you see that rolling down the hill? Was that like an elk or something? What the hell was that? Falling goats or something, huh? There it is again. I see it again. There must be some animals over there that are interacting with the cliffs. I didn't know that they would go off a cliff, though. That's nuts. I'm trying to see if I can see them up here. Huh, I can't see them up here. There's Super Pilot. You found me. Landing challenge. We do those. Why do I keep getting a pop in my earbuds? I don't like that. There's nothing. Did my mic cut out? Uh-oh. Are we good now? Have I just been talking to nobody for a while? You hear me? Okay. I don't know why it did that. It's bothering me though. It cut out when I said a pop. That's weird. I don't like that. Can you imagine coming across this land before it was, you know, you didn't know about it, let's just say. Anyway, that's Mesa Verde. And you can see we climb over the hill here, and then there's Cortez, Colorado, dead ahead. Those mountains way out in the distance, that's where we're headed today. Way out in front. Normally we go into the San Juans too and go to Telluride and stuff like that, but I'm not going to today. I want to go to some different places, if y'all don't mind. God, look at that. That is gorgeous. Cortez Intergalactic Airport right in front of us. The only thing this plane lacks is rudder trim. We fly so fast in this thing that it just overpowers the tab, the neutral part of it, so it always wants to fly cockeyed unless you have sit with your left foot on the left pedal, which is annoying. Should we do a power off? See if I can hit the numbers from up here. Area 51 looks great on the sim. Looks like Area 51. I mean, the whole area surrounding it is absolutely gorgeous. And yes, we've been out there many times. We go to the Nevada test site a lot and look at all the nuclear testing, all the subsidence craters, and talk about nuclear testing and all that other stuff. We were just there not long ago. Said I was going to put it on the numbers. I'm going to get there hell or high water, even if I had to aggressively forward slip. Okay. All right, there you go. All right, give me just a second here. Got to really hit that right rudder as soon as you bring the tail up. This thing's got so much torque. All right, finding the river here, going north. Northeast currently. That was not a stable approach, but that is not what I was shooting for. We'll follow the highway through town here. Ah, there's a mobile home stuck on the road or something. We noticed the traffic is a little basic. Like, right now, everything's one way, and they make turns at absolute 90-degree angles. Oh, now it's two-way, but it's splitting the lane. Yeah, see, brings a new meaning to the term suicide lane. Beat you. Beat all of you. Now, this is not a photogrammetry area. These buildings are all just autogen based on the region and some properties on OpenStreetMaps. They basically, OpenStreetMap dictates the shape and size of these buildings. You end up ground looping 50% of the time. They're persnickety. They definitely take work. Here's some cell towers. And sometimes we will get out, and we're going to head north now. So sometimes we will get out of the plane when we land, and we will take a little virtual tour using Google Street View into these towns. And I have figured out good places to fly in real life, and I have figured out good places to go grab food in real life when I am driving into these places sometimes. Where'd you go? I gotta turn you on the map here. Hang on. Let me get a. How about we just go on to. Can I get traffic on the map? Yes, I can. There you are. Oh, everything's north up. That ought to tick somebody off. Okay. GSX Pro. Animation's not. Yeah, so GSX I've heard can be a little buggy, but I don't use it, so it's hard for me to give it a yay or an A, you know? Wish we could. Can we use those? I can't remember if we can plug those in. I felt like that was something I discovered like late, because we used this plane for our US 11 tour. But I don't even see any plugs for that thing. Where? I don't know. Trust me on this. This is going to get cool. As long as it's clean. What do lawyers wear to court? Lawsuits. There it is. Da-dum. I guess it's better than a tearjerker. I need to just my kids know more dad jokes than I do. Okay, did I not load that? There we go. Why did the bicycle fall over? It's too tired. That's great. Nowadays my kids would go, bro. What's red and bad for your teeth? A brick. uh, oh, I don't know if I can get down there in time. Uh-oh. Not, especially not with stutters. Oh, no, the stutters are killing me. I don't know what's happening there. Yeah, my GPU got angry there for a second. I don't know why. You're right behind me. Awesome. I don't know if these planes will drag the wheels without flipping over. All right, Airman. Have a good night. You run a 24 gigabyte GPU and it maxes out. I hear you. Should be coming up to the dam really quick here. Here's the dam. It's not rendered very well. This is again kind of not a. It's going. Oh, there's some sort of berm here, and there's a spillway. Yeah, yeah. I mean, they still, yeah. It's still good enough, right, to give you the impression of a dam. Got about I don't know, about 700 or 800 feet to the tops of those cliffs up there. There's another elk, or no, that might have been a moose actually. That looked like a moose. Now, if we were flying a little slower, we could follow every contour of the river, but that would take us 9 years to get to where we want to go tonight. So I'm cutting them off a little bit. That's about the only. I don't talk about where I am in the real world. It's my only thing, and I just kind of keep that private. I talk about a lot of my my history. Wait, Area 51. Yeah, I fly the Janet flights. Yeah. Some of those really tall trees are just in the shadows. They just come out at you all of a sudden. You gotta like really watch out. There's one right there. Oh. I'm going to get caught by one of those big trees at one point. Now, if any of you have flown in an airliner into Las Vegas or Los Angeles coming from the east, you will look on a flight plan and you'll often see Delta Victor Charlie, DVC. And that is for the Dove Creek VOR, which we are about 13 miles from right now. To give you a perspective of where we are if you are familiar with airliner routes. I do have a gig this Saturday. No Friday gig this week, but I have a Saturday one. So we will definitely stream Friday night. These are some crazy campgrounds down here. In these floodplains. You'll, I would say, I mean, it's just as much the communications, the words that you're saying, as it is the airplane. or I mean, sorry, the procedures, right? Um, and beyond ATC doesn't. It depends on what you want to do, right? Like if you're going to fly VFR, um, it, it's there are actually a lot fewer people in VATSIM flying VFR, realistically, and there's actually quite a bit to know with it. Um, so a lot of that, the phraseology and the traffic patterns and things like that, you do need to learn that. Airliners are a little bit more set piece, um, but the airplanes are pretty complex and things happen really fast. So I don't know if I have a one size fits all solution. Got to get to know you a little bit, but Beyond ATC is going to be working on their VFR stuff. So if you want to go that route, they're going to start introducing it really shortly here. Hold on. Make sure we get through this tight turn here. Some VATSIM will be completely cool with you learning, and if they're not busy, some controllers are better than others at being cool, but a lot of controllers get really busy really fast, especially if they're center controllers, if they're doing what's called top down, which means they're controlling every towered airport approach control and the center itself in that center's lateral boundaries. And that's a lot of work for them. So it sometimes, if you go, oh, I'm going to go fly in, Kansas City Center's airspace, and you go into a quiet airport, that controller is also controlling every airport in Kansas City's airspace. So nice. Whereas if you find somebody who's just controlling a control tower at a smaller airport, sometimes those are the best ones. Man, this is really cool in here. Hold on, I'm going to concentrate. Splat against those walls. No. I love multitasking. This is streaming. At least I'm not trying to formation fly. I knew this river was going to be great for this. But anyway, so in some cases, VATSIM could be great. And in other cases, if you don't, if you're still learning, it could be really frustrating for you and for the controller and anybody else on Freak. So, so my answer is it depends. But when it does work well, and you have a copacetic controller at a quiet airport and you're just practicing your stuff, it is fantastic. There's nothing else that comes close. Man, coming in and out of these shadows is really disorienting. Like it is in real life. Flying into shadows and sun and everything else sucks. Man, this is gorgeous in here, though. I truly don't know what's coming next, so I'm being a little conservative in my flying here for this type of flying. Some rivers you know so well that you can almost do it with your eyes closed, but this is not one of them for me. Man, look at those cliffs. You know what I want to do? I want to go see what's up there. Yeah. Well, there's actually a trail on that one right there. This is Dolores Canyon. And look how flat it is up here at the top. I thought there'd be a payoff up here. This is pretty neat. I wish there were fewer trees. And you can tell that even where there are no trees, it's all scrub brush. In fact, I think the trees are probably a little overdone. So what's your son's goal? He's getting his private pilot. I want to land at Dove Creek. There's a little dirt runway over here. Oh man, look at this switch in the this horseshoe in the river here. We're going to come back to this. Oh yeah, we're going to come back to this. I want to go check out Dove Creek Airport here. Wants to do business in private jets. Nice. Most of what I know about Piedmont Triad comes from opposing bases. You familiar? Oh, you're out of Charlotte. Okay, okay. I see what looks like a runway. Well, you can go down, or you could slow down. You can't do both. Unless I forward slip it again. It's a good way to unport the fuel. Look at all the sheep down there. I know they're not sheep. God, this plane, when you go to full flaps, I have so much stick forward right now. There we go. I hear someone. You got the NX Cub to work. I couldn't get that to work the other day. God, I thought that was an M1 crossing there. I said I wanted to go back to that horseshoe bend. What the heck is Polly Shore down here? I would love for this to be combined with Farming Simulator. You know that? I mean, why the heck not? Did I see that guy in the Cub? Yes. That was unbelievable. Unreal. I just loved all the radio calls that he was getting of encouragement from airliners that were below him. Go those hay bales. Do not hit one of those with the plane. That will be the end of your flight. Oh, fantastic song. Do 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 do. All right, we're almost at that. We're abeam that horseshoe. I'm going to drop in kind of where we left it. Not completely, though. Once again, you're up here in what looks like, I mean, it for all intents and purposes, it looks like Spokane around here, right? Kind of at the edge of the Palouse, and you're at the, you've got all the, the volcanic and all the hard rock left over from the big glacial lake breakouts, but of the Columbia, but we get lined up here to do a drop in. Once again, just the amount of land down here is immense. These are areas that you probably don't think of, right? Most of us, I don't normally, right? And think of all the areas a person could get lost in the world. And this is just a fraction of it. I love it. I love those hypotheticals. Hey, absolutely. Thanks for coming on in. hang out anytime. I do have a Discord if you're into Discord. Kind of chat offline or find out when we're streaming next. All right, here we go. Dropping in. All right, here's Big Horseshoe Bend. Uh-oh. That didn't look good. It's not going to look good for me here in a second either. Use a little vertical. Dude, you're making me jealous. No, what I had for dinner tonight was awesome. Hey, Gregor. Yeah. Isn't this great? This is what I wanted to finish with on last Friday's stream. Kind of make a circuit back to Moab. Yeah, I saw something about that. It was for good reasons. Did anybody have any more news on that? I really didn't read anything other than it looked like there was a successful ejection. But I didn't hear anything about cause or the outcome of that. No, this is the Dolores River. We are about 4 miles from Dove Creek, Colorado. And we're working our way north on the Dolores River back towards where we were. What the heck is that? Is that a house? What is that? I want to know what that was. Hold on, now I got to pull up. What was that? Was that like legit? No, it's just, you know what that is? It's just a big square rock. And for whatever reason, the sim thought it was a house. Flintstones, meet the Flintstones. They're a modern Stone Age family from the town of Bedrock. They're a place right out of history. Now, you want a jazz jam. Flintstones is a jazz jam. It is the changes on the Flintstones, the chord changes are very similar to what we call rhythm changes. And rhythm changes come from the song I Got Rhythm. I got rhythm, I've got music. And when you get a band who knows how to play rhythm changes, it can burn, man. That's what those bebop cats, Charlie Parker and all them used to. Rhythm changes was like the thing. Usually in B flat, although technically you can do it in any key. But if somebody just calls rhythm changes without specifying the key, it's concert B flat. Cow, look at this. I still feel like I'm in Red Dead Redemption. Should get to hit my head up a little bit. There, like that. Do we have another big bend here? I think we do. Uh-oh, here we go. Another big horseshoe bend. Slow her down if you're flying a plane that doesn't like turning. This one's actually not too bad. Oh, maybe I spoke too soon. Gets tighter at the end there. Coming around. Nice. Guns. Yeah, this was worth it. This is just another one of those, hey, Western U.S. rivers. Let's go look. Let's go find something. And this is way more interesting than I would have figured it to be. And we've got actually quite a ways to go. Again, depending on how much we follow. We're actually a good section of the way up. We're more than halfway. Wow, look at this in here. Look at the rocks in the riverbed. Again, that's the kind of thing that is making 2024 really stand out. Wow, this is so cool. If this was Idaho, we would have passed like 87 airstrips already. Oh, big turns here. Big turn. Really tight in here. Really big hairpin turn coming. It'll be to the right. Here we go. Got to find corner speed. Oh! Got you still. Wow, this is so cool. Man. So, if you're thinking about getting an MSFS 2024, this is a stock aircraft. And this is stock scenery. It is worth the price of admission alone. And I will argue to the death about that. People were like, it's $160 or whatever, $200, depending on the version you get. This is hours and hours of fun alone, just doing what we're doing right now. You will get $160 or whatever you spend out of it. Now, is it perfect? No, by no means. There are a lot of warts still. Um, but we're not even, for those of you who are new and still looking at this and going, oh, should I? There are a lot of third-party add-ons that make it nothing short of spectacular. And man, that's a turn. Woohoo! Woohoo! It those are even. I mean, of course, you're going to pay a little bit more for them, but those are also worth it. That's how much. That's how much. And being able to do this with your friends online like we are here, and add the streaming element to it for me and some others, it is just absolutely a blast. Okay, at this point, I think it's probably... we could probably... it's so low. It's a lot flatter here. And we can probably get some altitude and save some time. I'm not sure yet. I'm just going to kind of play that by ear here. Watching my speed. We can stall at any airspeed. It's all about that critical angle of attack. And we are constantly watching out for that. Constantly... Now, in the real plane, there's some more tactile cues when you're starting to approach that stall, that buffeting, that separation. You don't get that in the sim. Some aircraft approximate it a little bit. We have the stall warnings and stuff, but as force feedback evolves, maybe that'll get to be totally well created. I don't know. We'll see. Follow the road. IFR. I follow roads. Oh, there's a bridge. Should we? Yeah, let's do it. This may be the stupidest thing. I may crash here. We're about to find out. We got to go get back in that river. Welcome to Slick Rock, Colorado. An Airbus open engine. Does not compute. I don't know what that means. All right, see if I can get this. This may be a dumb idea. Doesn't really give you a lot of room to line up. Oh, yes. For their next airplane, when you say open engine, you mean like an unducted fan? Yeah. So, dude, I've got books from the 90s that talked about all the research they were doing on unducted fans and that's the wave of the future, and it just never happened. And there has to be a reason for it. I don't know if if it was a materials thing at the time. I think about noise. Oh, there's another bridge. So I don't know. I don't know what to think about it. Oh, we are by no means done with the Dolores River here. This area is unbelievable. I'm so glad we went here today. I thought about it. I thought, yeah, maybe we should just do some Northern California in the Dakota. And then it occurred to me, well, we never finished where I wanted to go on Friday night, and very glad we did. We got some elevation issues down there, as you can see, with the water. And that happens. I mean, again, you're simulating the entire world. You're bound to have some stuff that doesn't look perfect. And I'm willing to overlook that. As long as it's not consistently egregious. Man, where are we? Hey, Captain Crash. Aerodynamics, the inlet of a turbine engine acts like like a compressor, slowing the incoming air and by extension increasing the pressure of the air. This makes the engine more efficient. So you're saying the nacelle, the cowling, the whatever you want to call it of the engine has positive effects. Interesting. I want to get some altitude and just kind of take in the scenery here for a sec. Behind us. Look ahead of us. Look at that. I'm really curious about this canyon over here. I have a feeling it's a box, and we're going to end up... So what is Airbus's rationale then for looking back into that? I would carry some speed here. I don't know where this goes. I think it's a box canyon. Oh, holy hell. Look at this. Oh, I don't know. This is stupid. I don't even think I can knife edge through this. That was close. What the heck is that? Oh, it's just a car. Wow, look at this up here, though. Once again, this isn't a third-party scenery that they did special. This is just the way the Earth is. And that is unbelievable. Yeah, I hadn't heard anything like that either. That's why I was surprised by it, because I was like, man, they've been talking about that for like 30 years. But I mean, they used to have a demonstrator. I think it was it was some MD series, MD 80 something, that had an unducted fan, and McDonnell flew it around for a long time. But I imagine, there was a reason they didn't go for it. All right, we're going to drop back down into the river here. Getting back on course. That's Mount Was up there. And no, I don't believe it has anything to do with... I don't think it has a sister peak called Mount Esbas. Oh, that wash right there was our ticket in, and I missed it. Too busy making a stupid joke. Yeah. Oh, look at this little compound in here. I do not know if what this river's about to do is going to accommodate navigation. This could really, we could be in for it here. Oh my God, you guys, this is awesome. Yeah, it would have to be, pylons on fuselage, I would imagine, or maybe even above wing pylons. But then maintenance becomes just a huge hassle. And then, God forbid, one of those things lets go. Because at least with a nacelle, you've got, containment. If a blade lets go, and they do let go. Y'all, this is unbelievable. Well, we have another, I was stoked way back in the day when we found the Bruneau River and the Jarbidge River up in northern Nevada, southern Idaho, and how amazing those were. And that was just the beginning of simming, where we're just like, there's got to be a lot of... No, there are. This is amazing. Contra rotating like a 295, which is a turboprop. Isn't a UDF supposed to be quite a bit larger? Well, no, maybe not larger. That's not the word. I should stop talking here because I'm about to hit a wall. Wow. This is nuts. A little Gino Vanelli going on in the background. Oh, yeah. Doom, doom, doom. This song is actually an absolute blast to play. This is one of those songs I'll sit down on the piano and just hammer it and sing it. It's got so many key changes in it. Gino Vanelli and his band in the mid to late 70s was pretty awesome. They had some top-notch players and very fusion-y. Do, 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 do. Oh my god. Here we go. I should probably zoom in the map, so I can at least kind of see what's coming. Oh my god. Wow. I think if we looked at this from above, it would be absolutely nuts. Sorry, I got a little frog in my throat. Uh-oh. The other thing I would be concerned about right now is G-forces. Are we overstressing the aircraft? Look how those horseshoes almost meet. Could someday be an oxbow. That little thin ridge right there. Uh-oh. That was almost it right there. Well, that's interesting with the unducted fans, man. That is a thing I haven't thought about in a long time. Also, keep in mind right now, even though I'm indicating 96 to 100 or so, we're up at a mile high elevation, so our true airspeed is closer to, well, add 10 to 12% or so. And then multiply that by an extra 15% to give us our miles per hour. So if I'm doing 110 right now, that's about 100, almost 127 miles an hour or so. Gentle turn to the left, and then a big turn to the right. Let's see what we can do. That was probably a solid 3 G's. Okay, I think it's going to straighten out for a little bit here, and then it's going to go right back into it. I would be actually really curious to see what this looks like from way up. It is a good song. Woo-hoo. Here we go. Message to you. It's just getting redder and redder. If a flying car became the new thing, would it become the new plane? I've seen how people treat their cars. Whoa. Speak of an oxbow, it's almost there, but the river actually goes this way. Oh, this is nuts. I think the only way flying cars are going to work, or even fully autonomous self-driving cars, is if you completely take the human out of the loop. And good luck with that. I just don't see it. I think you'll see some lightweight mixed mode things, kind of like we have now. But the only way to make it truly efficient, and then you also come down to you have to deal with weather and animals and other non-participating things. Everything has to participate. And I just don't see that happening. Takes away the things that, make us human, and now you're starting to get into philosophical questions. But anybody watch Pluribus yet? No spoilers, but anybody watch it yet? No, I'm not bingo yet. No, we're cooking right now. Dude, this river has gotten so awesome. We've been flying in like really narrow canyons for the last 45 minutes. We're almost out of it actually. We had some really tight turns. It was awesome. This has just been nothing short of amazing. No, Tom Petty, man. Yeah, bet. If I've played this song once, I've played it a million times. Used to be a pretty good crowd pleaser. Now only old people know it. Like me. Dance with Mary Jean one more time to kill the pain. Time for this time again. Here's the exit. All right, Super Pilot. Thanks for flying along. Well, Sinatra fan, how are you doing? Oh, hell yes. I'm gonna put on that party dress. We're popping out right now at Bedrock, Colorado. Mary Jean, one more time to kill the pain. Which way should we go here? Flying's been great, man. This river that we've just been following for the last hour or hour and a half or so has been nothing short of spectacular. We had some real moments, man. Kind of feel like we should go. There's a runway over here. Kind of want to give this. I've never seen this airport before. I wonder if it's new. Kind of want to give it a shot. Here, let's pop over this ridge. Maybe I shot that too soon. Trying to hunt for another way to get in over here. Oh yeah, look at this. Whoa, here we go. Pleasant Valley Sunday. This is way too narrow. Uh-oh. Left? Oh, that might have been a late decision. We have to pop out, eject. Yeah, this is too narrow. This is way tighter than the last river. Yeah, really snug. Yes, this is continued from where we stopped on Friday. Yep. Yeah, we flew north from Shiprock, basically, and entered. This is where I wanted to go on Friday, but we just ran out of time because we had so much fun flying those areas. And this is just a continuation of that. The Dolores River is amazing. We just found that out. Like, just yet another canyon in the western U.S. that needed some exploring. There's an airport like 5-6 miles ahead of us right now, and I want to see what that's all about. I haven't been on this road in real life, but I feel like I need to. Not this time of year. Oh, let's put it in a Ziploc bag. Put it in a Ziploc bag. Keep it in my pocket. Keep it in my pocket. Keep it in my pocket. Hey, what's the deal with WinWing? I have a feeling I'm not going to get my EFIS panel. I may have to import it from Canada. You have the throttle quad. Yeah. Have you been to their website lately? Big old controversy today. Put it in a Ziploc bag. Yeah, WinWing. Look at these switchbacks. I haven't been able to get on their website all day. Even in the new one, they say, "Oh, this is the one our U.S. customers have to use now." I haven't been able to get on it. I have a bad feeling. Okay, it says there's an airport right here. I don't know if it's in the sim. Oh! What do you want to bet that's it? I put it in a Ziploc bag. Keep it in my pocket. Right on the numbers. All right. Is this like legit a I don't think that there's a paved runway up here. I'm wondering where the heck they're getting their information from. I don't think that there's a paved runway up here. I'm going to check real quick. Maybe this is something that they just built? There is like... Yeah, I don't see anything. I see maybe a dirt runway. So if they built something here, they built it like really recently. Let's check Sky Vector. It says 5,200 by 50 feet dirt gravel. Activation in July 2024, so it is pretty new. So maybe this aerial has not been updated. Huh. Well, we'll have to check that out another time to see if there's an update to this. Oh, sorry, Jim. My bot doesn't let people post links. I gotta add you to the regular list for you to do that. I'll have to do that after this. Sorry. Had too many spam bots over the years. So I have to kind of give permission one at a time. It's a crazy sound. Kind of the same thing, Jim. It's not going to let you post links. I gotta make you a regular, and I don't think I have any mods online right now, so I have to do that myself. Let's see here. Okay, I'll check that out. Yeah. I haven't seen that, and I did not have success earlier, but I haven't really had a lot of time to try again, so we'll come back to that. But I'm going to be pretty ticked off if my... I haven't paid for it yet because they haven't said it's in stock, but I'll be pretty upset if my EFIS panel I can't get it anymore, you know. It's like my last piece that I need. Of course, they'll come up with some new stuff, and I want that too. All right, we're heading back to the Dolores River here. I want to... It redirects to another site. Okay. Do you still see your orders? Wow, that ridge over there looks amazing. Brings you See, now we're doing 130 knots. Even though our indicated speed's 112, I had a couple long posts. It's that time of year where there's a lot of people who are new to aviation, getting into simming, especially with PS5 launching and everything. And my instinct is to help as much as possible. And one thing that always people who are new to aviation don't understand is the difference between the airspeeds. So I'll give you a brief breakdown of it. The indicated airspeed is simply the dynamic pressure that's being read by your pitot tube. Actually, on this airplane, it's my right side. Yeah, and it is literally. Again, you can go way deeper into science and the mechanics of it, but it is just a direct indication of the dynamic pressure that's acting on that tube itself. And so roughly it's measuring the molecules that are hitting the air molecules that are hitting it, and that is your best indication of how the airplane is going to perform. in terms of lift and thrust, drag, all those things. It's one of your most direct indications, because if I'm moving fast enough through this medium called air, and there's enough molecules hitting, no matter where I am in the atmosphere, that's what the airplane feels. If you could stick your hand out the window, and that indicated airspeed or that airspeed indicator said 100, it feels like 100, no matter where you are. Okay, and so that's what's acting upon the wings. That's what the engine's able to use. That's what the prop is able to use, and things like that. But as we know, as we go higher in the atmosphere, actually, let me go back. The position of that probe out there on the right. Okay, is that better? I don't know what is going on with my sound tonight. To answer your question, okay, it's better. Is it bad? Or just better? Can you crash and damage the plane? Kind of. Not really. It'll just tell you it'll just tell you crashed. Some planes show crash damage, not this one. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with my sound. I don't know where it cut off too when I was talking about airspeeds and stuff. Maybe it was just trying to tell me to shut up. Closest airfield is Nuclear Hopkins, which is Alpha India Bravo. Talking about the probe on the right wing. That's it? Okay, that's the true airspeed, right? So, again, the molecules entering that probe are what the airplane feels and indicates, right? So there's 115 knots worth of air molecules entering that probe right now. And that probe is subject to some errors due to its installation, its position, and when you get really slow and you put the flaps out, it diverges from reality a little bit. So there's another measure that they call calibrated airspeed, or CAS, that is, again, at cruise speeds, it's nil, the difference between IAS and CAS, but at slow airspeeds, that gap increases. Regardless, as we know, we go up in altitude. and the air gets thinner, right? So the air gets really thin up at altitude, and we could be hurtling through the air really fast and barely putting any air into that little probe because it's so thin. And so that probe is still measuring indicated airspeed. But we have to go really fast up there through the atmosphere to make it indicate that same airspeed. Does that make sense? So we have to go fast to kind of stuff more air in there because the air there's so little of it. And if you think about it, if we take it to the extreme, you could have a spaceship or the International Space Station, if you will. You can have that be. Hold on, I got to figure out which way to go here. You could have that moving through, space, but because there's no air up there, it's moving thousands of miles an hour, but it is not registering any airspeed because there is no molecules to stuff in it. So what we have, hey Chunky, we are just outside of Yerevan, Colorado. Nukla is just south of us. Alpha Indio Bravo. How are you doing? This is an amazing area, man. We've had nothing but beautiful. Yeah. The Dolores River has treated us really, really well tonight. This has been awesome. Just, finding new rivers to explore. Anyway, so at its extreme, you could be going really fast but registering very little indicated airspeed, right? And that speed you're actually going through the atmosphere is called true airspeed. So because there is fewer molecules up here, I am doing 105 knots true right now through the medium of air, but only 93 knots of that is registering. So my airplane, you always fly the airplane using indicated airspeed. Okay? So because that's the way it's going to react when you move the controls, when you land, when you do all the stuff. We're not far from we did that on Friday. We did Potash Road and the Potash Ponds up by Caveman. Absolutely. You took a trip down there after you're flying it down the sim. Isn't that awesome to do? That's like one of my favorite things. Anyway, back to true airspeed. So we used a really strong example of going out into space where there is no air, so your indicated airspeed was 0, but your true airspeed would be thousands. And at sea level, in standard conditions, your indicated airspeed or calibrated airspeed, if you will be the same as true airspeed, where the air is nice and thick. And if you get cold enough, where if you're down close to sea level and it's like 30 below, which Wayne will attest, it gets that cold, your true airspeed can actually be below your indicated airspeed because of that really thick air that you're dealing with at that low temperature. Cold air is very thick. So that's how the difference between true airspeed and indicated airspeed. So a lot of people will go, well, I'm up at 30,000 feet, but my airplane says I'm only going 240 knots. And it's like, well, yeah, that's how it works. If you look at your true airspeed, you're probably doing something somewhere close to 500, right? Because the air is so thin up there. Remember, half the atmosphere is between sea level and 18,000 feet. You're up to 30,000 feet, and now you're closer to 70% of the atmosphere is below you. The density of the atmosphere. So you go higher than that, and it's even more so. So we have to go really fast through the air, our true airspeed, to stuff enough molecules in the pitot tube and under the wings and into the engines and all that other stuff to make it do airplane things. Make sense? Then, because the entirety of the air is also moving, like a river, um, the airplane is also affected by that movement, and depending on whether we're moving with it or against it, that further changes our speed, and that's the ground speed, and that's what registers on your, when you're looking at a GPS. Your GPS doesn't really care about all the other stuff. Your GPS just goes, hey, look, you're going between these 2 points on the ground in this much time. You are going this speed. That's your ground speed. And that's being influenced by starting with that indicated airspeed, converted to true airspeed, converted to ground speed. That's awesome. So when wing order's still active and says shipping is in progress. Okay. Thank you for checking that. Well, that makes me feel a little bit better, but still not great, because we're still I haven't even gotten the notice that it's out of back order yet. God, this is gorgeous in here, huh? Well, I hope that helps some folks understand the difference between those airspeeds. What it means for us in a plane like this is, if I need, let's not use this plane as an example, because this plane's like a little beast, right? You're going to get it for PS5. Great. Fantastic. But if you imagine in a Cessna 172 that you need, let's round it to 60 knots of the whatever pressure the molecules are causing to be 60 knots, you need that under your wing to be able to lift off a runway, let's say. Okay? Let's say that's your rotation speed. 60 knots. Up at 5,000 feet of elevation, you may have to do more like 70 knots to make 60 knots worth of indicated airspeed. So there again is your true airspeed and your indicated airspeed, which means you're going faster on that runway, which means you're going to take more of that runway. Not only that, but there's less air for those normally aspirated engines without a turbine or a turbocharger, and now it doesn't produce the same amount of power at all. So not only do you not have the lift for your wings, you have to go faster to get to that lift. Your engine takes longer to get you going faster. So that's why a lot of airplanes crash at high altitudes, because they have to work a lot harder to do the same kind of a thing. And unfortunately, the geometry of runways and mountains and all that other stuff don't support you taking that long to get up to flying speed. So that's why the runways up in these necks of the woods are usually a little bit longer. And it can also change your geometry of your approach and, obstacle clearance and overshooting your turns and things like that too. So high altitude flying, something that unfortunately breaks a lot of airplanes and ruins a lot of lives every year. Okay, is it back now? Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that, but it's bothering me a lot, and I apologize. What does it sound like? I wonder if my Something's going funky with this. Ice train, I love that. It's like the mic is outside the plane at 200 knots. Fantastic. Well, this is the first time this has done this. I've never had that issue before on a stream, so I'm wondering if I just got a bad start on my computer, or maybe I changed something, or maybe I'm shorting out my mic. Maybe it's giving up the ghost here. I need to get a new one. I did not take a Windows update this week, no. Yeah, and I'll have to check into that. It's a cheap headset, so I might just need to get rid of it. Nope, not wireless. Mm-mm. No, that would make sense. I heard some weird pops when I started the stream. And I don't know, maybe, am I like, hold on here. I wonder if I'm like rolled up on a cable or something. No. Do I ever stop to refuel? When I need to. I've still got 18 gallons. We're just sipping right now. It could be. It could be. I used to actually done a lot of electronic work on microphones and stuff over the years. Not the USB stuff though. That's a little different. I'm trying not to make too many big movements to see. Hopefully, I don't trigger that again. And I apologize. I'll get to the bottom of that. And maybe it could just be I need to reboot. You know. Okay. Okay, some of you who are familiar with this area, you've flown with me around here before. We're coming into Gateway, Colorado. And we're going to do a little thing up on that. It's called the Palisade in front of us there. And this is quite an amazing wasn't it was around a year ago, maybe a little less than a year ago. We ended up flying the Draco over to this area. And we ended up on top of that palisade. I'm going to try to do it here in the Norden. Jersey Shore. Let our mothers sing the U.S. soul. Ask them to dance, dance with me slow. All right, this town is really cool. There are so many resorts in here. But one thing you'll notice, I'll show you it here in a few minutes. I'm going to try to land on that palisade. Let's see. See if it's changed from the last time I've been up here. Yeah. This is unreal up here. Look at that. Alright, I gotta see where we can put this. How accurate is this to real life? Very. All those little ripples and everything like that you see are where they are in real life. Where it is not realistic is necessarily when you get to the fine details at like the 10-foot level. The trees aren't necessarily exactly the same height, dimensions, placement, and all that other stuff. The rocks and things, but all these landforms are absolutely where they are in real life. Forward slip. Hard to judge your approach here. This is not a normal. Okay. Keeping it off my left wing here. A little bit of a ground loop. Not my best landing. Okay. It's really rough. Really rough. As you can see, like, I hit those rocks back there. That was not good. Okay, but what I'm going to show you here, it's worth it. Okay, watch this. Would I be able to land here in real life? Probably not. Probably too many rocks. Okay. This is like... Oh, we're not even there yet. Just give me a sec. There we go. You can actually go all the way off to that ledge right there, too, if you really wanted to. Now, if you look down there, you can see that there's a runway down there. Let me turn down the music a little bit here. Okay. As much as I love the Beach Boys. All right. Yeah, I haven't been up here for a minute. We can actually go... Thank God it's not Hiking Simulator. I'd fall on my... you-know-what. People climb this. There are a couple routes. Okay, I'm actually getting queasy. Getting that fluttery feeling. I'm clipping through the rocks a little bit. But you can see, by the way, this looks a lot better than it did in the early version of the sim. Uh-oh. Oh, I pulled the camera too far. Okay. Oh, well. I do not know what's happening now. Something is messed up. Uh-oh. I do not understand what's going on. I think I've screwed something up. Why am I hearing the stall horn? Why am I standing there? Where did the plane go? Oh, Lord, is that my plane? Or is that one of you? That's my plane. Oh, I fell off when I was manipulating the camera? Well, the plane is trimmed so well right now. But I can't get back in it. I don't know what to do at this moment. I think we're just going to watch it crash. This has never happened. This is hilarious. Uh-oh, now it's going to crash. That's why you never leave a running aircraft. Okay. I have no idea where it went. This is hilarious. I've never had that happen. Oh. Oh, apparently this is where we are. Alright. Slew mode. Back to where... How do I get back up there? Yeah, this is why you have slew mode. I swear to God I didn't do that, guys. Okay, anyway. Alright, we're going to put it right back down where it was. Right about... Where was it? Right about here? Yeah, that's about right. Good enough. Okay. Alright, can we still fly? Okay, let's see if we can do this. What I'm going to do is my original plan before the airplane, before my little walkabout ended in disaster. I'm going to try to land at that airport that we saw. Let's see if we can do this. Chunky, my wife just said we should go to Vegas again. Just kind of out of the blue the other day. So that may be happening. All right, do you think I can get over these rocks? That wasn't the right move. Yeah, that'd be a trip. All right, ready? We're going to try to put it down at that airport, at Hubbard, down at the bottom here. I figured this out one time. I think it's like a 17-degree path. Ready? It's pretty close to being over. We're just going to go right back to Canyonlands here. You could join. Probably about 20 minutes. It's like we're on a zip line. Look at this. That should be a friggin' landing challenge right there. Oh, it's not loading in well, though. The LOD's kind of screwy with it right now. But that is literally, that's kind of how it looks from here. Not ridiculous. You parked at the FBO at 2:45 this morning on NBA charter, got a bed at 0500. Your time is all jacked up. Yeah, I hear you. One of my other favorite airports in the sim. So Hubbard's one of them. Fish Foo. Thank you for the raid. How are you all doing tonight? Here, let's try this again. All right, let's see if I can get up there. Got friends, McCrode. How are you doing? A little too much right rudder. God, this thing's overpowered. Look at this. Who needs the Draco? Oh, this night has been great, man. We've been basically following the went to Mesa Verde National Park and then followed the Dolores River all the way up to here, and it has been absolutely gorgeous. All right, we're gonna try this again here. See if I can do a better landing this time. It's really rough up here, so it's kind of the luck of the bounce. Oh no, check this out, Fish Food. We're gonna do this again here. I'm gonna do this one more time. Should do this as a stall drag. Ah! Dropped a wing. Dang it. That would not have gone. Ah! There we go. Alright. That did not go well. That was not as good as the first one. At all. By any means. Okay. In fact, that was so bad, I'm going to do it again. Come back around one more time. I want to... I we'll do 2 out of 3 here. See if I can get this time. This is ridiculous up here. Got that friggin' nose up. I got way too much nose down right now. Way too much. Yeah. Too high. Try it again. Let's not skid all the way through that turn there, Charlie. No, watch Fish Foo. If I can get this, watch how this culminates. I'm going to try one more time here. Okay, maybe not 35 knots. Want to come in a little lower, but that was ridiculous. Here we go. Ah, that rock. We're going to go cliff diving. Oh, damn it. It is not my night. Whoa, whoa. Anybody remember when I did this at Table Mountain in South Africa? Could not find that 100-foot patch of land to save my life. No, it's not the trees so much as the rocks. The rocks are killing me. I got it the first time, but I've not been able to successfully get up here since. We're going to try it again. Yeah, it's not the trees, it's the rocks. And you don't see them until you're like right over the top of them. I'm just going to drag this sucker in this time. I'm getting pretty tired of this. This is Gateway, Colorado, on the Dolores River. Hold on. I'm trying to put it on that little spit right at the end here. And that is not where I aimed the first time. That's... God dang it. Okay. That was not pretty, but I'll take it. God, it's still going. That sucked. Those rocks are killing me every time. Okay. The point is, this is what I'm going to try to do here. Watch this. Even though I'm just sucking. I really am flying like an idiot right now. Okay, here's your landing challenge, right? All right, that should be a landing challenge. I know y'all could do it better than me, but it's just it's that much fun getting down there. And like I said, I think it's about 17% glide path. Who dat? All right. One of my other favorite airports, like I was saying, Fish Food came in right as I did this the first time. And I checked on this not that long ago, and it was for sale. Oh, not what I meant to do. Little X on the end of the runway. I'm landing on runway X. Not a good idea. Whoa, my stick just rotated. Whoa. I gotta tighten that down. Yikes. Anyway, this is a really cool resort in real life. X marks the spot. Yeah, basically. Man, I'm getting really, really tired right now, and I am flying like an absolute jerk. Slipping, sliding all over the sky. Of course, when we're exploring like this, flying norms are kind of out the window anyway, but we'll return to that on Friday night. I'm doing the realistic flying. Until then, hundred 20 miles an hour. All right, we're going to follow the river back to Canyon or Arches, where we started. God, this plane needs so much left rudder when we're in the caution range. Wish we had a rudder trim in this thing. Or could we bend the tab to a higher cruise speed? A nap of Earth flying. It's like an F-111. Not far to the Colorado. We'll cut a little time off of this here. It's just about done. Well, I've had maybe one successful, two semi-successful, and three not successful landings on the Palisade now. And you were here for all the not successful ones. That's a tough place, especially that spot. That location is ridiculous. Check my Discord. Okay. I don't think I have it up right now. Oh, cool. Oh, I'm excited to see that. There are some uncharted landing areas. I don't want to call them airstrips. Up on those bluffs. And I don't know if you guys have known this, but we've been flying downstream the entire time. We basically followed the Dolores from its origin, and it flows north to the Colorado River. Somebody like you. All right, let's see here. Oh, there's a little blip in the terrain there. I don't think the river climbs that hill. Oh, there's another little blip. Let's see if we can get around. Let's see. There's a wash that comes in here that is actually pretty decent going back up that way, too. Oh, about 3 or 4 miles to the Colorado. Almost looks like an airstrip. No, it's just a dirt road, huh? All right, coming out at the other side now. God. There's a lot more left rudder in this blade. Here comes Colorado. Man, the Dolores was a great run, though. That was way worth it. Again, if you're on the fence about getting this sim, I don't know what you're waiting for. Here comes a big couple horseshoe bends here. Man. It just wants me to hang on to that left rudder the whole time, doesn't it? Even right now, I've got a little bit left rudder in. And there's the Colorado. There it is. Little confluence. We just rode a couple hundred miles. By the way, if you're... Sometimes you'll watch, like some bush flying cowboy videos and things like that, and you'll see this big center pivot irrigation along the Colorado. Yeah, if you watch closely, you'll see that they find places on these ridges to land. Too many trees. You think to yourself, there's got to be somewhere. Should I try for this little knob here? Oh, good luck. I mean, you could try to like stall plop it on there. I don't know. I'm probably way too overtired right now to be even considering any of that. Okay. Yeah, that's the thing about 2020 that's a little different than 2024. In 2020, we could kind of almost land anywhere, um, like any of these like ridges and stuff like that, because they didn't have a lot of some of them had trees, but not a lot, and they didn't have rocks. And in 2024, they do a lot more bushes and trees and definitely more rocks, and it makes it a little tougher to just. I think we'll just put it here and give it a shot. Am I planning on doing more bush flights like this? I think overall, Chunky, probably, but not like. I don't know if I'll have like a routine schedule for it. Yeah. Ooh, that looks like a beautiful sandbar to land on right there, doesn't it? Well, I'm glad you guys have liked it. I've enjoyed the heck out of it too. I definitely. There's a part of me though, and you guys know me well enough to know that there's a part of me that's like, right now, I just want to like jump in a Baron or a TBM and do some like real landings just to work all the nonsense that I've been doing out of my system. Like, it's hard for me to just do this and just be like, oh, that was some real flying, because I feel like I've just broken every law and everything in the book. It's weird for me. It's like I need a chaser. And to be fair, roads less traveled is that way too. Look at that bear. Did you see that? There was a friggin' bear on that sandbar. Let's see if it's still there. Did it despawn? Or is that it by the river? I can't tell. Hold on. chunky tires. Okay. It disappeared. Oh, it's over there in the bear scrub. Yeah, I don't see it. Oh, bumpy. All right. Yeah, I am not setting up my approaches well at all. I am just like rushing everything because I'm tired and I did not get a lot of sleep last night. I don't know why. This is where I feel like I need that chaser. All right. Oh, there's another one. That had to have been what we saw rolling down that hill earlier. What's weird is I thought I turned fauna off like a couple weeks ago because it was killing my frame rates or something, or I was testing it. I don't remember turning it back on. Watch, I've been running this whole thing in LOD 100. Stranger things have happened. Sorry. Hey, boo-boo. First time I went to Moab, we drove this highway along here. And again, it's like this whole area is just basically is what Red Dead Redemption was modeled after. Fly you up here a little bit. Oh, can't go that fast. More of those palisades, though. That's just what I love about this area. It's just so gorgeous. Yeah, exactly. It looks just like the Wild West. Yep. And this is where Arches National Park starts off to our right here. Is this where the... Okay, this is the center pivot I was thinking of, not the other one. So there are a couple roads up on that mesa up there that people have used as runways. An old-timey miner. Old prospector. Oh my God, that's something my dad used to say. Here. I can't do this without going to Castle Valley. Kind of buried the lead with this. Hang on. This plane really does get you in and out of places. The one I was talking about, the little valley here, Castle Valley. This is where I feel like Red Dead is modeled on, truly. Right here. Look at that. Doesn't that look amazing? And that's Mount Was right there. And Mount ILS is right next to it. Anyway, I just think this is amazing. Nearby is going to be Canyonlands. Charlie November Yankee. But, like, that's my destination. That's where I'm landing it. You could go out of Utah 53. Uniform Tango 53. I'll swing around down to Moab and back up to Canyonlands. So I'll swing right by Uniform Tango 53. Just a few minutes. Look back. There you go. There we go. Looking down at the Moab area. You're not seeing me? Look east-northeast. And I'm about to pop over that ridge. I will aim right for it. I'm going to pop over that ridge in about 75 seconds. And I've got a couple people in trail. Oh, there you are. You're right behind me. Doc, look west. I thought you were still at the airport. Go 240. Boom. Yeah, we're Vini. We've been Vini all day. All right. Last little canyon run. those fins right there, like it's kind of the same kind of morphology that formed arches. Now we're finally low on fuel. Too fast to negotiate those turns safely. But, we'll come right out at Moab. Okay. Let me see here. Hold on, I see. Is this game worth it? Skylo. Yes. I mean, what we're flying right now is all stock sim. Stock scenery, stock aircraft. And, I mean, it depends on what kind of flying you want to do. But what we did tonight, exploring hundreds of miles of river canyons in the western U.S., it's worth it alone, you know? And there's a lot more you can do with it. So, I like flying, smaller to mid-size aircraft mostly. And sometimes we like doing stuff like this. Sometimes we fly really seriously, and it just depends on what you want to get out of it. But absolutely, I highly recommend it. Yep, you can go low and slow, high and fast, or even low and fast. This is the old uranium mill here. It's a major Superfund toxic cleanup site. But if you didn't know, Moab really got a lot of its start in uranium mining. And a lot of money was made. But there was an old mill here that separated the ore. And, of course, there's a lot of waste from that, and so that's what that tailings pond there is, that old uranium mill. Sorry, Doctor, I'm not being a good leader right now. I'm just kind of moseying. But we are 10 miles from Canyonlands Airport. It's pretty much a straight shot. Yeah, it is really awesome. And sometimes, like earlier, we like putting ourselves in ridiculous situations, landing in really stupid places just to see if we can do it, with very mixed results. But this area is, I mean, like I said, anywhere in the western United States, I can stay entertained for days. And that's not to discount parts in the other, half of the country or other countries as well. I'm just very familiar with these parts, so and I'm still having fun exploring them. But we will go other places soon. And those wings have gotten dirty on this flight. It's got a career mode. I will warn that career mode is... It's the best word is frustrating. It's frustrating. But it's got promise. Yeah, this is okay. So, I mean, other than the fact that some of the really small details, like the bumpiness as you get down to the last 100 feet or so, can kind of be off. But overall, this is exactly what it looks like in real life. I mean, this is all real. Those power lines are there in real life. This road is here in real life. This is US 191. I do a series called The Roads Less Traveled, where we go end to end on US highways, and this is actually one of the ones I want to do at some point. It's a gas station. Yeah, you bet. Man, I got ducked, like literally glued to my wing. Try to fly a little nicer for you for the last 3 miles here. Okay. It is... My wind is out of the west right now because I have it on... I don't have live weather on. Yes. Seeing things... And I've said many times too that it will show you things that you can go to in real life. You've done that. I've done that. Where I'm like, oh my God, this is really cool. I'm gonna drive there. I would fly there to a lot of these places, but renting a plane is pretty prohibitive for that. I don't own a plane. I rent, and it's a little prohibitive for long trips, and then you have to deal with like weather and get there-itis and all the things that cause accidents. So pushing it, it's just not worth it sometimes. I fly much more conservatively in real life than I do on flights like this, like Moab, exactly. Yes, going to North Korea in the sim is better than in real life. That's exactly right. Here, we're going to cross the field at 6,000. There's the old runway. I think it's still used as a crosswind runway. Got right traffic on runway 21, so we'll cross the field 500 above the pattern. That windsock is it's like right across the runway. It's favoring 2-1. All right, Moab traffic, 4 Charlie Foxtrot, 6,000 over the field. We're maneuvering to the northwest for a 45 right downwind, 2-1 full stop Moab. All right, ducked. I'm going to... Might be drifting a little bit more than I want to here, but I'm going to do a left teardrop here. Okay, Chunky, I will do that. All right, here we go. Descending left turn. Get that screenshot. I don't mind if I do. That was pretty much right on at 45. All right, Moab 4 Charlie Foxtrot's on a 2-mile 45, right downwind 2-1 full stop Moab. Moab 4 Charlie Foxtrot, right downwind 2-1 Moab. Be a little tight on this landing here, but we'll see. And I'm going to put it on the threshold markers tonight and get off by that first taxiway. Moab 4 Charlie Foxtrot, right base 2-1 Moab. We only have 3 Pappy lights. We got one NOTAM data service or something. It's a little weird. All right, are you seeing that too, Duct? All right, I'm aiming right for that first displaced threshold arrow. Whoa. Like, what is going on there? Why is there a big green ball of dust? That's hilarious. It's all uranium. All right. Moab, 4 Charlie Foxtrot, clear to 1. Moab. Let's park over here. I'm going to thread the needle. Oh, no, didn't mean to stop. Come on. Duck is just going tearing through the ramp. Too funny. Okay, parking brake is set.